Come on, Kaylee. Get over here, Kaylee. Whoa, this is a little high. A little bit up there. No, maybe not. So
I feel like I'm on a radio show.
Radio show?
Yeah.
They're called podcasts, but it's okay.
Well, podcast radio. I mean, the setup is, I feel like I'm...
Yeah. We are calling them YouTube videos where we sit down together and talk /podcast.
Love it.
Okay.
Okay, will you move that mic just a little closer to you? There you go.
You can lean back.
Yeah.
But don't lean back. But don't lean back too far.
Jared just told me somebody fell.
Don't lean back too far. So they're not bolted down. So okay. Welcome, Kaylee.
Thanks.
So Kaylee Teamy, National Sales Manager. You've been in this role for how long?
About a year.
About a year. And prior to that, you were a adventure van salesperson, sales rep, sales guru. And you did that for, what was it? Was it 2.5 years?
About a year and a half, and then went into...
Actually, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I started out as a sales guru, and then moved into the finance manager role, and then now into this role.
Sweet. So you kind of stepped through all the pieces of the puzzle, and we grew up in the same small town, so you didn't really know me. You knew my brother-in-laws. You knew my wife's family. You knew basically all of us. So glad you still decided to come work for us.
Yeah.
So you said earlier a little bit of blind faith. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I
that.
didn't know much about Vandoit really when I stepped into the role. Knew a lot about, of course, the family and everything, but it's been an awesome experience.
Good. Well, you get me for the next 18 and a half minutes. So what are we talking about?
All right. Well, there's a lot to talk about on the sales side. I think one of the topics that we're hearing a lot from the sales side on is chassis availability, timeline. There's been a lot of changes just over the past, just even year. I mean, the whole life of our company, there's been a lot of growth and changes. But kind of where we're at today, would love to kind of just talk through availability and how we've grown, and kind of where we're at.
Okay. So availability, I assume you mean chassis, like chassis. Okay. So kind of as the quick rundown, as informational. So we are a strict builder on the Ford chassis, the Ford Transit chassis. We build on, for availability, we build on the all new Transit Trail. We build the mid, the high, and the EL single wheel version. Doesn't come in a dual. And we build on now with the all-new Move Cargo. We build on cargo vehicles. We build on a mid-roof cargo, high-roof cargo, and then an extended length dually. Everything we do is all-wheel drive now. It's a standard. And then we also have the passenger series with the Do model and the Live model. And then why do you keep looking at my hand?
Because you're like so graphic with your hands.
I am, because I have to count.
Okay,
well, I like numbers, but seriously.
If you're going to hold up your hands, that draws attention.
Yeah, well, May. Okay, so May, January, February, March, April, May. It's the 5th month.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
So I have to, I'm sorry, I have to use my fingers.
No, it's great. Everybody's drawn to your hands. I know it's not just me.
I mean, okay, well, I tore my hand yesterday in CrossFit.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
That is nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
that was a good one. All right, back on topic, Kaylee. Sorry, I'll put my hands in my pockets.
No, you can talk with your hands, but that's
Okay.
why I'm looking at them. Just explaining.
So, and then, so with the Do model, Live model, and then the new Move Passenger, we build on mid-roof passenger, high-roof passenger, and the EL dually passenger. And it only comes in a dually. It does not come in a single-wheel form. When we talk about availability, it's a very broad discussion because obviously availability comes with all of our vendors. Every vendor, during COVID, everyone has supply chain issues and supply chain problems. But because of our amazing relationship with Ford, the chassis is the biggest part of our build. And, in the automotive industry with everything going on through COVID, with all the uncertainties, sales, and then the skyrocketing of sales, then part supplies for them, it was month to month. It was a constant just question that kept me up at night, just knowing like, are we going to get chassis? Are we going to get the right chassis? Restrictions all over the board, so we ordered in what we could get. But with our partnership with Ford, we've been working with them for years, from our prior, relationship with them in the fleet business, to now, being a QVM certified upfitter with them. We're one of the very few in our category.
That's big.
It's huge. Basically, we do not void Ford factory warranty. Basically, our builds are approved to where, unless if it's something that's just simply, by wrong in the sense of didn't pass QC, we do not void any Ford factory warranty. And so, sorry, I'll put my hand down. So,
and that's big, not just because of our partnership with them, but also because we have customers in all 50 states. They can take their vehicle into any Ford dealership.
Correct.
For warranty work.
Yeah. And being a part of QVM and part of us, just our history with them, we know how to take care of the customer at the dealership because we're singular, meaning we're not trying to figure out how to build on what would it be, a Ram ProMaster or a Sprinter. We're not trying to build on those things. We are exclusive to Ford and Ford only. And it really allows us to become experts in that field. Any vehicle is always going to have its issues. There's not a vehicle on the road that hasn't had them. And for us, what's really nice is we've just become such experts in the transit world. In a lot of cases, we know more before maybe even the local dealership does. Well, best example would be the brand new Transit Trail. We had in our possession the very first Transit Trail ever built. In conjunction with Ford Marketing, we built the interior of the van that you see in all of the marketing and
Ford Marketing,
and all the press. We helped them build that unit. We also gave a ton of feedback. We gave knowledge to the guys who do the trail upfit of seeing what we're seeing. So we were able to be a massive piece of that. But it also gave us the ability of knowing more. There's a lot of things that I'm a part of where helping Ford with different things, communication back and forth. What should the future look like? What should the Ford Transit Trail offer? I remember the first discussion that I didn't realize at the time was about the Transit Trail almost 5 years ago. And so, you kind of see the whole thing come full circle. And you say, hey, a beefier look with a, wheel well, that's, and the flare, that's huge. That'd be a massive thing that could really help assist the look of the Transit. And then you kind of see commentary from 5 years prior come to life. And so, but with availability, we have such a tight, really good, loyal relationship with Ford. When basically we call, we get answers. We're able to get those things. And through COVID, we never ran out of chassis. I want to say, kind of for the record, I got really nervous at times, but our relationship allowed us to never run out. There were parts where for a while we couldn't get adaptive cruise. So we were able to still get vans in without it. And the only reason that was the case is because we were able to communicate with them. We were able to talk and find out, okay, if we can't get this, what can we get? And we never ran out, and come kind of full circle, coming a little bit out of the age of COVID and things are starting, there's still extremely tight supply chain out there with builders. It's not easy, and this isn't past us. We're still looking at potentially having, supply strain restraints for quite a while. Inflation's still a real thing, all these different things that go into play. It's also election year, so, we're going to see supply chain staying really tight, but with availability, because of our partnership with Ford, we do have chassis. We do have chassis available. This might be the first time ever shouldn't say ever, the first time since 2020 where we actually have vans that we can look forward to assigning. Not as many as I want to have. But, we are actually getting what the customer wants. And so, if you come to us, we've been able to work on our timelines. A lot of that's due to the confidence and knowing of the supplies at which we have. And, transit trails, that's always going to be a very tight supply. But with our abilities that we've been doing for years, with the Quickly Q lift and our third-party vendors with suspension, you come to us with all of our different chassis options, we have something for you. We just need to be able to talk through that.
Yeah, I think that's just confidence to a customer. On the sales side, when we have customers that come in for tours, seeing our, line of vans getting ready to be pulled in that have been assigned to customers, that's just exciting to be able to see that, because I know it's been hard for a lot of builders. So
Yeah.
it's definitely just speaks to like our partnership with Ford.
Yeah. Well, and with it, we do everything with Ford, and we back that product 100%. It's just with all the dealerships nationwide, with all the tech that's in the Transit. It comes from the number one top selling truck in the world with the F-150. And so it only makes sense. And that serviceability and any tech knowing how to work on these things, it's huge. They're human made. They're human made. Something's going to go wrong. Something's going to happen. That's just part of anything you purchase. It's knowing that you have the support.
Right.
And for us, even for our support team, a lot of times we restrict back how many options we want to offer just so our support team can help assist. There's a lot more I'd love to do on these units. It's one reason the shower took so long. We gotta be able to back what we offer. And that's why we're exclusive with Ford and will be, And so, and I think it's also, as you mentioned, like people coming in, a Ford Transit, either cargo, passenger, trail, they're all the same foundation. Let us guide you through putting you in the right one. The one's best for you. Right. Transit trail is not for everybody. It might go the opposite direction. It might be perfect for you. Same way with passenger. It's why we decided to really jump fully in on the cargo side, because there's also needs there with commercial and then just people who want the built-in storage. We owe everything we do it for a reason, and we do it because we see the need from our owner base, being Vandoit owners currently asking for, they still committed to us, but they said, hey man, if you can ever do this, I really would love that. Well, that's what you see today, which is really fun and exciting.
Yeah. So speak a little bit on, you've touched now on availability, but, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, coming, through COVID, out of COVID, we were on an 18-month build time. Now, just with, the increase in our production efficiencies and, new team members and just expanding in the growth of our company, we've gotten to kind of push that down a little bit, and kind of ramp up, production and units going out the door, which is super exciting, from like a sales side. But speak to that a little bit.
So we, going into COVID, so in 2019 from a percent growth, has been and still is the largest growth year we've ever had as a company. You could look at revenue and you could look at a lot of other things, and you could say 2021 and 2022 grow past that. And a lot of, let's say, fundamental analysis, if there's a lot of things that would say that 21 and 22 were our biggest years. From my perspective, the biggest overall growth year that we've had as a company was probably 2019. But I think the year that's right on its heels, if not, and we haven't closed the year out yet, but was 2023. And it's because of kind of what you're asking, all the things that we've done to really grow. So a lot of times we have our weekly team building meeting where, Brent Reeder, who, you call him our HR guy, in-house preacher, whatever you want to call him. He is, he talks on most Thursdays, but a lot of times, sometimes I will also take the meeting as well. And so a consistency that the team has heard me talk about is growth. Growth isn't always in terms of numbers. Growth is in terms of total value for the future. And that's why I mentioned 2019 and 2023 specifically. 2019, we really found our home. We really found what we were doing. And we knew that next phase of demand growth was right around the corner. You know, in 2020 hit, that's the first COVID year, you know, first few months, you know, you were a salesperson, you just went back home, tried to sell from afar. And it was a few rough months of nothing. And then all of a sudden, wham, just everybody wants on the road. And then the frenzy started. And so, you know, 2020 was a very big year for sales. It was very taxing as running a business on how do we be essential? How do we do all these things we need to do to keep people safe, workers safe, and grow? You know, so 2020 was a really big just trying to just run, not even grow, just run. 21 really helped solidify us, though, in the sense that COVID is giving us the numbers. It's giving us what we're looking for in the sense of moving forward. Thanks, Austin. We got 5 minutes.
Great.
So we'll hold the next one to the next discussion. But 2021 was the big year of trying to work through how do we increase production. So new facility, you know, and how we do these things. And the second half of 2021 was when the real supply shortage started. That's when you saw all vendors not getting supplies in. You saw container ships sitting out just in the ocean, not being able to get to port because of the reduced manpower at the ports, you know, logistics, truck drivers, you name it. 21 became the real reality of supply chain problems. And so through 21, all the way through the kind of the first little bit of 23, we really had to protect whom was putting money down with us. And so with knowing we had only so many chassis we could probably get, knowing supplies we could only get, we protected our pipeline, we protected whom committed to us financially to get a van, and we wholeheartedly tried to do everything possible to build those units as quick and in highest quality as possible. And with that, I had to make the decision where we had to cap our production quantity, because it does you no good to run out of supplies next month. And so, but we used that level of lining ourselves for the future. So for the second half of 2021, all of 2022, and a little bit of the first of 2023, we capped our production count because of supplies. We knew we had to protect at all cost our manpower, our people here, so we capped it. Sales was massively outrunning, you know, and our timeline was building. That's that 18 months you talk about. But the reason why our timeline is back, and it's probably reaching kind of that 6 to 8 months again, probably somewhere in there. It was 8 and it kind of came down to 6, and now we're probably bouncing between flirting with maybe going back to 8 month timeline. A lot of that is due to the fact that through 2021 until now, we have worked extremely hard on increasing quality, getting our new van models produced.
Which is so exciting.
So exciting. And then most importantly, though, our production abilities. So our production abilities is in the high 20s to low 30s. We've never built at that pace because we've been held back by supplies. If supply chain didn't hold us back in 21, 22, 23, we would have unreal records. But as the supply chain has come back over the last year, as we've been able to take production back where we want, we've been able to work extremely hard with efficiencies, you know, and all of our processes that we've worked through for the last few years. We're now in a position of really rocking moving forward. And so it's almost a little bit of a slow down to speed up. But I will give kudos to the team. Everyone, you see it every day. Everyone's working probably harder now than they ever have because we know what's around the corner. And with these new move models, it's extremely exciting. The commercial division is really rampantly growing. The attention is unbelievable. You're building a bigger sales team. We just brought on 2 more salespeople. We're bringing in, additional marketing staff. We're growing. And what's so exciting to me and why I'm so excited for the future is I feel like during COVID, handcuffs were put on because supply chain just held us. We couldn't innovate. We couldn't do things. And now it's just like when you were a salesperson at the beginning of COVID, a 1 year to 18-month timeline, that hurts. It's not good. But now you can get a custom build by us, in 6 to 8 months, because we can actually assign you to a chassis.
Which is amazing. Along with inventory. I mean, we have a lot of inventory.
Exactly.
People upgrading,
So it is
exciting.
So we've taken, the way I look at it is all the hard work from everybody for the last 3 years. I think 2024, it's going to finally start paying dividends for everybody. Everyone who's stuck with it, really dedicate themselves. I think we're going to see dividends be paid. And those dividends are paid to the owners. All the efforts of new product, new design, taking care of needs. And with our amazing partnerships like Ford, Navico, Illuminous, Backwoods. We have these amazing partnerships where we're going to attack things together moving forward. And so 2024, it's already shaping to be an amazing year. And if anything, I actually think it could be the year that breaks every one of our records.
Wow.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. Yeah, it's awesome to be a part of this team, honestly, and to see the growth. And honestly, just speaks to your leadership as well. We have an awesome company, so.
Appreciate that, Kaylee. Thank you. So, Ben, it's due to you, and it's due to, as I say, we can only grow as good as our management is and as good as our team is. And that's, again, another reason why I'm very excited to finally be able to breathe. We're in kind of control, for the first time since the beginning of COVID. And, I'm excited. The Chiefs just went repeat back-to-back. And so
we're both sporting Chiefs.
It's amazing.
I love that.
Well, yeah, you have to. So, but no, it's fun. I know we didn't get to all your topics. Maybe we'll just have you back next week.
Okay.
And we'll just talk further.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
awesome.
Good.
Appreciate it, Kaylee.
Thanks.